Hi everyone, Nadine here. It is Monday evening as I'm filming this. Definitely in need of a glass of wine, so cheers. The other half is currently watching something boring on TV, so I thought I would come and spend a bit of time with you and do a book haul. So it'll be things that I got last week or two in August and then the month of September. Now, I never do like book buying bans because one of the things that I do to relax, it's not just reading the books, but I really like sort of searching out good books as well. That being said, I am supposed to be trying to save a bit of money at the moment because I want to move house. But I bought a few Kindle books at the start of the month, and I went to a car boot sale. And I found a charity shop that was doing books for 99p each, buy one get one free, so essentially 50p a pop. And this happened, and this happened, and also kind of this happened. So yeah, not too great on the not buying so many books side of things, and seeing as they've been taking up space on the dining room table so we can't use it properly whilst I'm waiting to film this haul, I thought I'd better get on with it really. So without further ado, start waffling, Nadine. First of all, I'll tell you the books that I got on Kindle. The first one I got at the start of the month, all of these ones were when they were 99p on like the daily deals and things. The first one was The Loney by Andrew Michael Hurley. I know, was it last year or the year before, this won a few awards. I don't actually know a lot about it, and I want to keep it that way. I want to discover it as I'm reading. But I do know it's supposed to be a gothic horror, and it's about two brothers. Something about a child's body's found, and secrets get uncovered. I'm going to leave it at that. Like I said, I want to discover it as I read. After that, I got the All Souls Complete Trilogy by Deborah Harkness. That encompasses A Discovery of Witches, Shadow of Night, and The Book of Life. I know that A Discovery of Witches is a new TV show on Sky One, which I haven't been watching, so I will save that for when I've read the books eventually. You know, so many books, so little time. But the brief synopsis of that was a world of witches, demons and vampires, a manuscript which holds the secrets of their past and the key to their future. Diana and Matthew, the forbidden love at the heart of it. So that could be very exciting. I then got Jane Austen at Home, a biography by Lucy Worsley. I think that pretty much does what it says on the tin. And The Pact by Jodi Picoult. She's an author that obviously I've heard of quite a lot, but never bothered picking up any of her books. I just assumed that I wouldn't like them. But my online book group chose this book for the October book of the month. And I was just going to kind of bow out of it and not bother this month. But then I read the synopsis for it, and it actually sounds quite interesting. So it's about two neighbouring families. They have lived together, well, lived next to each other for years and years and years and years, do everything together, they're really, really close. So nobody is surprised at all when the kids, as they grow up, develop a romantic relationship. But then, one night, in the middle of the night, they get a phone call. The daughter is dead, and the son's alive, and there's one bullet left in the gun, and it was supposed to be a suicide pact, but apparently there's some kind of question about whether that was the case, and it raises questions of how well do you know your children. And I thought that was quite interesting. I'm a mother of two. I'm a long way off them having suicide pacts yet, I hope. But yeah, a long way off them having relationships or anything like that. My oldest is 7. But I know when I was a teenager, I very much had a secret life. So yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see how that's handled. So then onto the actual physical books. The first one I got was part of a new book club by Books and Pieces. I can't remember her actual name, sorry, I'm really bad for names. But Books and Pieces is the channel, and she's starting a women in fantasy book club called the Lady Vault, which always makes me smile because it sounds like it could be quite rude. And I quite like the fact that if I get parcels coming to the house and my partner's like, "Are you buying more books? Why are you buying more books?" I could say, no, you don't understand. It's for the Lady Vault. And no more questions. So the book that was chosen for the first month of Lady Vault was The Red Magician by Lisa Goldstein. I have read this already. I'll be doing a wrap up next week. It was okay. It's okay. Yeah, I liked it. I need to think about it a little bit more because I'm not quite sure how much I liked it, but it was okay. It's worth a read, and it's a short book. I think it's only a few pounds on Kindle if you are interested in it. It's set in sort of late 1930s, early 1940s, a European village, a Jewish community. They're very much isolated from the world. They don't know what's going on out there in terms of the war. A magician comes to town, starts warring with the local rabbi there. He's trying to warn people of impending doom, really, and nobody will listen. So yeah, that follows that. On that channel, she did also recommend a book by another female author, Pat Murphy, The City Not Long After. It's a post-apocalyptic story set in San Francisco, I believe. I'll read you a little bit. Ghosts crossed the bridge ahead of the young woman, pale wraiths that tattered in the night wind and merged with the cold mists that rose from San Francisco Bay. The moon was a vague light in the east, blurred by the fog. Gulls roosting around among the metal girders of the bridge stirred uneasily and croaked unintelligible warnings as the woman passed. So yeah, that sounds like it could be really, really interesting. Then I bought The Shipping News. This is about a hack journalist whose wife dies and he moves to Newfoundland. I'm not going to lie, the reason I bought this was because I have a weird obsession with that sort of region. Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, anything. It's like an unrequited love, never been there, but I will just absolutely gobble up anything that's set there. Then I bought The Night Watch by Sarah Waters. Sarah Waters, very popular author on BookTube. I've actually never ever read any Sarah Waters, so I'm very sorry about that. But this is another sort of wartime story, I believe, but I don't know too much. And again, like with the earlier book, I want to just discover it as I go in. Then Jane Austen, because you can't beat a bit of Austen, and Northanger Abbey, which is one of the few that I've never read. Young, impressionable Catherine believes that life should be a wonderful adventure right out of her favourite novels. Don't we all? Lost in her stories, she sees diabolical villains and swooning heroines everywhere she looks. Only her new friends, Henry and Eleanor Tilney, are able to teach her about the realities of life. But when Catherine is invited to be a guest of General Tilney and his family at the mysterious Northanger Abbey, she still can't help wondering what horrifying secrets her host is hiding in its dark rooms. So that should be fun. I like a bit of Jane Austen. In fact, one of my favourite ever novels is Jane Austen, is Emma, and I try and read it every year. Then I bought The Little Red Chairs by Edna O'Brien. I think this is in a small Irish village. A man calls himself a faith healer. He arrives in a small West Coast Irish village. The community is soon under the spell of this charismatic stranger from the Balkans. One woman in particular, Fidelma McBride, becomes enthralled in a fatal attraction that leads to unimaginable consequences. Edna O'Brien, another author that I've never read, but I've heard fantastic things about. So if you've read that, let me know. It looks great. And I've got this in a charity shop and it's never been read. Same with Northanger Abbey, same with a few of the ones actually that I'm going to show you, and it always baffles me, these amazing books, and nobody's ever touched them. Such a pity. This one I was really excited to find there as well. Barbara Pym, Jane and Prudence, set in, I believe, a little village again. I do like books set in villages, I've got to say. And it is, oh well, it's about Jane and Prudence, I should imagine. Yeah, they couldn't be more different. Jane is a rather incompetent vicar's wife who always looks as if she's about to feed the chickens, while Prudence, a pristine hothouse flower, has the most unsuitable affairs. With the move to a rural parish, Jane is determined to find her friend the perfect man. She learns though that matchmaking has as many pitfalls as housewifery. So that sounds like it's going to be really fun. I do like these sort of, I like stories about women, and I like stories in these little villages because they're such boiling pots, aren't they, of you know, tensions and relationships and secrets, and yeah, good fun. The next one was one that I saw on Amy's channel, Zoe Beck, the channel's name is, and she absolutely raved about it. So when I saw this in the charity shop, I just grabbed it. And it's Neville Shutes, On the Beach, and it's one of these red vintage spines, which I love. There's a library near me. They have like this little alcove, this, you know, cozy wingback chairs, and then they've got floor to ceiling red spines, these vintage ones, and I really want to do that. I just need a big house to do it in. So this is a post-apocalyptic one, I believe, as well. After the war is over, a radioactive cloud begins to sweep southwards on the winds, gradually poisoning everything in its path. An American submarine captain is among the survivors left sheltering in Australia, preparing with the locals for the inevitable. Despite his memories of his wife, he becomes close to a young woman struggling to accept the harsh realities of their situation. Then a faint Morse code signal is picked up, transmitting from the United States, and the submarine must set sail through the bleak ocean to search for signs of life. That just sounds fantastic. I can't wait to get to this one. I've been really craving stuff like this at the moment. Another one that I really want to find is The Road by Cormac McCarthy, which I've heard really good things about as well. I'll try and get through these a bit quicker because I've been waffling for a while, haven't I? So The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, another BookTube favourite, and it's a book about books, which, you know, everybody loves, don't they? And these next two I picked up for 20p each on a car boot sale. Joanne Harris, Pictures for Monsieur le Curé. Don't know what it's about. It isn't often you receive a letter from the dead. Well, we'll find out. Oh, when Vianne Rocher, that's the one from Chocolat, isn't it? Receives a letter from beyond the grave. Oh, is this like a trilogy then? Because I thought this one was a sequel to Chocolat. That's why I didn't read the back. Yeah. Oh, I need to look into that. I've been meaning to reread Chocolat. I read it when I was about 13, 14. And yeah, I don't remember it very well. But I remember really being captivated by it. So I picked that up a few months ago and then found out there was a sequel, which was The Lollipop Shoes. But this is to do with her as well. So, okay. Lovely. And then something a bit spookier, The Upstairs Room by Kate Murray Brown, which I was absolutely desperate to buy, so I ordered it. I got it really cheaply actually off eBay for this nice hardback. It was like £2 something, and I discovered I'd already bought it on Audible and forgotten. Never mind. I'll definitely read it then. The next few, if you've seen my other videos with my TBRs, you've already seen some of these. So we've got Elizabeth Gaskell, Wives and Daughters. It's the 1st of October today, so I have made a start on that. I'm 18 pages in and going well so far. And then I got V Wars, edited by Jonathan Maybury. This is a collection of short stories all set within this world where humans are fighting against vampires. Hopefully going to make a start on this. I might see if I can read one of the stories tonight. But there are 24 stories in here, so yeah, should be fun. Bit of vampire action. And then another Gaskell, Cranford and Cousin Phyllis. And some more of my vintage red spines, you know, start creating the wall now. Stoker's Dracula. And Charles Dickens' Great Expectations. And then I ordered Jeanette Winterson, The Daylight Gate. This is set around Pendle Hill in Lancashire, the Pendle Witches, which are quite famous in the UK. Can a man be maimed by witchcraft? Can a severed head speak? Based on the most notorious of English witch trials, this is a tale of magic, superstition, conscience and ruthless murder. It is set in a time when politics and religion were closely intertwined, when following the Gunpowder Plot of 1605, every Catholic conspirator fled to a wild and untamed place far from the reach of London law. This is Lancashire, this is Pendle, this is witch country. I absolutely love the tales of the Pendle Witches. Creepy stuff going on around there. I would love to visit, but yeah, this I'm looking forward to reading. And then this next one I bought based solely on the title and the cover, and it's Wolf Winter by Cecilia Eckbach. I don't know what it's about, but it looks quite gothic. So I'm just going to dive into it and see what it's like. I'm not going to find out about it. It'll be a mystery. This next one is one that my boyfriend picked up for me because I love Mighty Boosh TV show. I've watched it so many times that I could probably just have it on mute and do all the scripts myself now. But this looks good fun. You got it 50p on the car boot. Lovely hardback with lots of crazy stuff in. If you haven't watched the Mighty Boosh and you like your comedy a bit surreal, I would definitely give that a go. Next I picked up Gervase Finn, The Other Side of the Dale. This will be set in some sort of Yorkshire village, as I believe that's pretty much all Gervase Finn does. I read one of his books last year and quite enjoyed it. It's like a cosy kind of set in a village school type book. And so obviously because I enjoyed one, this is I think my 4th book by him, and I've still only just read the one. And then I found on a car boot this set of sort of vintage Enid Blyton books. I used to have all these sorts of books, these Enid Blyton ones, when I was little, and I saw them on the car boot and I made the snap decision I'm going to collect them whenever I see them. It's for a bit of nostalgia, and yeah, quite sweet, and they're so cheap to pick up, you know. Yeah, quite sweet. This next set, I got these 7 books for £2 off the car boot, and I bought them for my son. He's not interested. I've already tried. It's the Roman Mysteries. I've got nothing against reading children's books. I'm quite happy to read children's books. I did a children's literature module when I studied my degree, and I love kids' books. Sometimes they go darker places than adult books dare to. So, and I've been quite curious about this because I like the classics as well, so it'll be quite interesting to see how all of that history is incorporated. Sorry, talking too long. Very much need to shut up, don't I? Here we go. Another Elizabeth Gaskell. It very nearly became the Elizabeth Gaskell Victober here. North and South. This didn't make it to my TBR, but I've heard such good things about it that I can't wait to get to it. And then preparing for non-fiction November. Take Courage, Anne Bronte and the Art of Life. I just started Agnes Grey today, and I'd never read any Anne Bronte before, but I love the other Bronte sisters. And I wish that I'd have gone to her before, because so far, so good, definitely. Beautiful writer, really enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to getting to this as well, but I think I might have to pick up The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, because I would hate for there to be any spoilers in here. Excuses, book shopping. And The Secret Library by Oliver Teal. And this looks at books and bookish items from, you know, the last few thousand years of human history. And there we go. And that is everything. I think that's quite enough actually for 1 month. If you've managed to stick with me for this long, congratulations, you should get a prize. I'm not rich enough to give you one, but you should get one. Maybe go buy yourself a book as a treat. But thank you very much for watching, and I will chat with you again soon. All right, bye.